Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome you all here. Thank you for coming. It's a pretty exciting day. We've got several volunteer candidates already graduates. They've spent the last couple of weeks working hard and studying and learning more about the Highway Patrol and how to better serve the state. So we're very thankful to be here today. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's coming here and that's supporting them. I want to recognize, as we start, first, Chief Dance. Thank you for coming out here today. We have Captain Bernier from the Antelope Valley Office. Thank you, sir. We have Lieutenant Williams up here in front from the Mojave Office. Thank you for coming out. Then we have the Mayor of Palmdale off to the side here. Thank you, sir. We have representatives from Tom Mackey's office and representatives from Zach Scrivener's office here this morning. So we're very excited to have this good group of people all gathered together. I'd like to begin. We're going to start with Pledge of Allegiance. So if you could all stand with me. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may have a seat. So to get things started this morning, I'd like to introduce Captain Bernier from the Antelope Valley Office. If you'd like to come up, sir. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
I just want to thank the friends and family members who took the time to come out here. I'm sure some of you came from far away, so thank you for being here for this. I know it means a lot to your volunteers. And I just wanted to say that the volunteers in my office are an incredible asset that we have. The CHP has had approximately the same number of officers, has the same number of officers we have now as we did in the 1970s. And you can imagine the population growth and the number of licensed drivers and registered vehicles. And so we're always shorthanded, understaffed, and a lot of the jobs that the seniors do are jobs that were previously performed by officers, uniformed officers, and some of them the non-uniformed folks, but we have just as many of them as we did back then as well. So the tasks that the seniors perform are tasks that would otherwise have to be performed by somebody who's being paid by the state, who we don't have a whole lot of. So for that reason, the seniors are critical and vital, and I know in the Mojave area as well, to helping us to achieve our mission and our goals. We wouldn't be able to do the things that we're able to do now if it wasn't for the jobs that the seniors are currently doing. And so it's vital that we have the volunteers. Our mission is to save lives, and the more officers we have out there, the more lives we can save. And I know for a fact without the senior volunteers, we'd have a lot less officers out there than we currently do, working the road and in the field. So you play a critical role, a vital role in the department and the mission and goals that we're trying to achieve. So I want to commend you for choosing us. There's a lot of things I'm sure you could have done with your free time. Now that you've decided to come with us, I welcome you and I thank you. And I look forward to working with you as we continue to do the things that we do to make the community a safer and better place for everybody. And I'd like to call up Lieutenant John Williams, commander of the Mojave area.
Thank you. My voice is a little rasped, so I'm on the downside of bronchitis, so bear with me. I'll make it short and sweet. I mirror everything Captain Bernier says, but I'd like to add that the volunteer program is very near and dear to both of us. A lot of people don't know that Captain Bernier, once upon a time, was the statewide coordinator for the program, and I had the pleasure of starting the Antelope Valley's program 15 years ago. So we really appreciate the program, and I really enjoy the relationship that Mojave and Antelope Valley share as well. We don't see that throughout the entire state, and so I really appreciate the relationship we have, and I'm looking forward to working with you all. And excuse me. Lastly, we could not make this possible if we didn't have support from above us, and so I would like to thank Chief Bill Dance and introduce him to talk to you, and thank him for his support and everything he's done to make this a successful program. So, Chief Dance.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. After what Eric and John said, I probably should have been first because I think Eric and John both said everything that I wanted to say. But the senior volunteer program is so important, and in fact, it's so important, it's in our strategic plan. One of our goals is to expand the Explore program, and more importantly for today, the senior volunteer program. And I worked Southern Division, which is LA County, which is part of Antelope Valley for 25 years. The past 4 years, I've worked Inland Division as an assistant chief and a chief. To be part of these ceremonies is just wonderful. Volunteerism, it's in our blood. It's what our country was founded on. We have volunteers that do great things. I'm getting close to retirement, so I want to do some volunteer. I think it'll be awkward if I was a senior volunteer. Maybe I'll do that at some point later. But at first, that's one of my goals, is to be a volunteer. And the selflessness and the givingness of the volunteers, you all come from different backgrounds. You know, all volunteers here, they have different professions, but I think we all have a servant's heart. I know we do that as CHP officers. That's one thing we do, is we serve our community, and you're still serving your community with the help of the area offices and being part of the family. The CHP is a family, and you are now part of that family. And as Eric and John mentioned, we couldn't do our job without you. Eric said we have the same amount of officers working now as we did the past 30 years. And that's a true statement. It's kind of hard to believe with the expanded role that the CHP has taken on. In 1995, we absorbed the state police. We have functions for guarding and protecting and investigating crimes on state property, protecting the governor, just all sorts of things we didn't have, 30 years ago. I came out in 1990, and the job has really changed since then until it is now. We do so many more things, and we couldn't do it without the wonderful people such as yourselves and all the volunteers that are here today. You guys just do a great job. And Antelope Valley, I know, Mojave, they're probably two of our best senior volunteer programs. They're well run. We get great people. And just from the Commissioner of the California Highway Patrol, from me and all the members, I want to thank you for what you're doing. I think John and Eric mentioned you could have volunteered anywhere. There's a sheriff's department. Some of you might volunteer at different agencies. When I was the captain of Altadena, we had 2 of our senior volunteers. We only had 3. But 2 of them volunteered at the Sheriff's Department and with the Highway Patrol. And we're lucky to have you part of our family and taking care of the day-to-day business of the CHP, and saving lives is what Eric mentioned. That's what we're all about. And you can rest easy knowing that you're saving lives too. Sometimes you can't put a number, you can't quantify it. It's like our officers that arrest a drunk driver. They take him off the road before he kills somebody. You're helping. The function that you're going to do is help saving lives. You can't quantify it, but know that you are saving lives, and we appreciate you being part of the CHP.
Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to introduce someone from our candidate class, Steve Riona. I'm going to come up and say a couple words.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's graduation ceremony. The last 2 weeks of my life have been without a doubt the most interesting stuff I've ever experienced. I learned safe driving skills, how to operate the in-car radio, the radar trailer, first aid, traffic control, and many other skills I had never thought I would ever learn in my whole life. I'm very much looking forward to employing those newly learned skills to provide safety, service, and security to the people of the state of California. Thank you very much.
Now, for the class badge pinning and presentation certificates, if I can have them step up.
Okay, first we have Senior Volunteer Judy DeVoe.
like Sharon, I hope the blood doesn't show through.
Stephen Diaz. Okay. Another one over here. Next, we have Jeffrey Lyman. That's the first test.
Coffee at the parks.
Okay, and last but not least, Vicki Schmidt.
Just want to say congratulations, everyone, for all your hard work the last couple of weeks, and we look forward to what the future holds. Right now, I'd like to introduce, we are privileged enough to have some dignitaries here. We have Mayor Palmdale. I'll introduce you first, Stephen Hopmeyer.
I just want to thank the Highway Patrol and my old partner, my very old partner, Dennis Bogart, for making me aware of this. And like the chief, captain, lieutenant said, the community depends heavily on the services that the patrol provides. And without the volunteers out there helping take that load off, you guys are a force multiplier for these guys. So we really appreciate putting in the time. I'm sure your families appreciate getting you out of the house. So, we know, I understand that drill. So, anyways, thank you all very much. So, Chief, thanks for having me very much. So, Captain, thanks again. Thanks.
Thank you.
The certificates get better as you get to the county and the state, though. Thank you very much. Sam? You did it all right. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce a representative from Tom Lackey's office.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm here on behalf of Assemblyman Tom Lackey. This is very special for Assemblyman Lackey and his office because he served in the California Highway Patrol for 28 years. And so he has a very special connection to this. He could not be here today. He wanted to extend his most heartfelt congratulations to all the graduates and wanted to let them know that he is extremely proud for being able to continue their work in the community and for everything that they're going to contribute to our public safety. So on behalf of Assemblyman Lackey in the state of California, thank you for volunteering and congratulations on your graduation. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce representatives from Supervisor Zach Scrivener's office.
Good morning, my name is Laura Lynn Wyatt, and as Aaron said, I am a field representative for Kern County Supervisor Zach Scrivener. And congratulations to all of you. Very, very good job. Quality of a community, we believe, is made up from volunteers. And we will all get to know each other very well. I'll probably see you at the next event or parade that we all frequent. So again, on behalf of Supervisor Scrivener, congratulations. Thank you for your hard work, and thank you in advance for your service to the communities, okay?
I just want to say in closing, we are very proud of all of you. It wasn't easy to get to this point. For some of you, it took several months to get to this point. So we're very proud of you. And like I said earlier, we're looking forward to the future and all the volunteer work, the time that you're giving, and we're so thankful for you above all. So thank you very much. Thank you everyone for coming. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. I was just reminded, thank you, sir. We do have refreshments. The volunteers are going to bring them into this room, so feel free to stay around and mingle for as long as you would like to. This house is your house. They're going to go bring those in. We got cake and waters and some other stuff, so feel free to stick around and partake. Thank you. Mark, yes. Last picture of everybody? Real quick. One more, real quick. There we go. One more, real quick.
Now got it.
There we go. Get scoot to the side here. We can all fit in here.
Yep. Well, I can. I don't know, but I got this. All right. Everybody ready? My flash is going to go off. Good? I'm good.
Good. Good, good. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, good morning, Chief. What a great occasion to be able to congratulate these volunteers. And your title is Chief. What does that really mean?
Well, I'm a chief for the California Highway Patrol, and I'm a field chief. I'm a division commander. The state is broken up into 8 geographical divisions, and the division that I'm the chief of is Inland Division. And we cover San Bernardino County, Inyo County, Mono, part of Riverside County, and this part of Kern County.
I see. And these volunteers bring a smile to your face.
They really do. Our senior volunteer program, they're just a huge part of our department. Quite frankly, we couldn't do our job without them. We have been asked to do less, we have been asked to do more with less over the years, and our senior volunteers help fill that void. They are a force multiplier for us. It frees up our officers to be able to go out and try and save lives, enforce speeding laws, DUI laws, seatbelt laws, all the things that we do to help keep people safe and save lives. It frees our officers up to focus on those important duties while our volunteers can do the other functions for us.
And the qualifications for a volunteer, and how long can they serve?
You know, they can start. There's not a time frame for how long they can serve. But you have to be 55.
Okay.
Once they turn 55, they could volunteer. So I could actually volunteer right now because I'm older than 55. I was talking to one of our volunteers, and I'm actually older than him. They're just a great bunch of people that they have servants' hearts. They care about their community. They're here to give back, and they're just a great part of the CHP family.
And do they have to have pass a physical or a background check, things like that?
There's no physical. They do a background check.
Yeah.
And just to make sure there's nothing in their background that would preclude them from being around officers and our computer systems with sensitive information and
Yeah.
weapons and all that.
Sure, sure. Now, I saw one lady come up here with her cane, and I thought, wow, that's pretty good. She's volunteering.
Yeah, Edna. I was speaking to Edna
Right.
earlier, and she's volunteering. And we have different functions. We have some of our volunteers that like to stay in the office and do some of the paperwork for
Right.
us. And we have other volunteers that like to go out and help with traffic control. They'll put our radar trailer, position in locations where we're having speeding problems and accident problems.
Sure.
So we have some that just like to stay in the office, which is great. Then
Sure.
we have other folks that like to go out in the field with the officers and do some more of the hands-on work.
And if people wanted to sign up, should they call their closest office?
Yes, their local office, and the best way if they go online and look for the California Highway Patrol, and it'll show them, they'll have maps where they can actually go to the local office.
Uh-huh.
And that's probably the best way to do it. And
Sure.
most of our areas, not most, but a lot of our areas have a senior volunteer program. We're always trying to expand it. And this graduation today for the Antelope Valley and the Mojave offices, they're expanding their posts. And some areas are starting them. I think our bishop office just started one. So most of our offices throughout the state are either having them or trying to start a program.
Sure.
All we need is some quality volunteers.
Surely. Well, thank you very much for your comments, and best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh. Well, good morning, sir. What a great ceremony for volunteers.
Good morning. Yes, it was.
The public doesn't get to see that too often. It's the first one I've ever covered. And tell me a little bit about where these volunteers serve.
Well, these particular volunteers are going to be serving in the Mojave and the Antelope Valley area CHP offices.
Yeah.
There are volunteers at the Santa Clarita station, at the Altadena station. Those are some of the ones that are surrounding our areas. Victorville also has volunteers. So, but these particular ones in this graduation are from our local area here.
And when they serve, do they have hours to be on duty and hours to be off duty, or?
Well, they're volunteers, so we don't give them set hours. They're not on a time clock except for their regular meetings. They'll have events, functions, different details that they'll help us with, and they come in. They have a coordinator who coordinates the dates, times, locations that they report to accomplish those tasks.
And how many volunteers do we have for the Antelope Valley?
Antelope Valley area currently has 32 volunteers, including the 4 new ones that just joined.
And how long can they serve? I mean, if you can't see or hear, I guess you can't serve.
Right. There's no limit as far as time frame. However, obviously, health concerns do arise in our volunteers, and they tend to be pretty good about knowing when it's time to hang it up and volunteer or to retire from the volunteer program.
Sure. Well, thanks very much for your comments, and keep up the good work.
All right. Great. Thank you.
You bet. Morning, Lieutenant Williams. What a nice ceremony to have today. I have a few questions about volunteers around Roseman. How many do we have? And if somebody wants to sign up, what do they do?
Well, we actually have 18 volunteers assigned to the Mojave office. And then every day we deploy volunteers out to Rosemont, Tehachapi, Boron, Mojave. So every day we give them tasks. And so on average, you'll have 2 per day. Because we have them pair up in the car together. And we get a lot of traffic complaints, whether it's speeding or unsafe drivers. So we assign them to traffic complaints. We'll assign them to the schools. And so it's a really great program, and like I said, 2 a day, sometimes even more. We had last month we had a day where we actually had 8 volunteers out there all at the same time.
Wow.
And it was very effective. People slowed down, and it worked out for us. And so if anybody would like to volunteer with the Highway Patrol, just come into the Mojave office. We have applications at our window. You fill out the application, and then when we get enough applicants, then we put an academy together. So we don't have specific times. We just like to get as many people as we can lined up, and then we'll hire them.
Sure. Well, it was a great ceremony today, and thank you for the invitation, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And what it entails, and Good morning, sir. Could I get your name?
Richard Parody, P-A-R-A-D-Y.
I'm glad I asked for the P-A-R-A-Y, right?
P-A-R-A-D-Y.
Okay.
I am the administrator at the Lancaster CHP office for the senior volunteers.
How many volunteers do you have there?
We have 33 at this time with our new ones,
Uh-huh.
and they're all extremely busy.
So, are you looking for more?
We're always looking for good candidates, yes. We hold an academy once a year, okay, for new applicants that want to join the senior volunteer program.
And if someone wants to join, what do they do? How do they make contact with you?
All they have to do is stop down at the office, ask for a senior volunteer application, fill it out, bring it back to the office, we'll put it on file. As soon as we're going to have an academy, we will contact them,
Uh-huh.
and then we will bring them in for an interview,
Okay.
and they'll talk with me and another officer
Okay.
or a sergeant.
Okay.
And then we go through the process from there. We'll be doing background checks,
Uh-huh.
fingerprints, Department of Justice,
Okay.
and if they clear all that, then we bring them in and put them in the academy.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's a 2-week process.
Okay.
All right, and we go over our radar trailer, how to operate it,
Sure.
how to operate the radios and the light bars and the black and white.
Sure.
We go over traffic closures that we do quite a bit of down there,
Yeah.
and help out with fatalities, traffic closures, anything like that. And we work hand in hand with the sergeant at the scene and Caltrans.
Now, I presume volunteer means no pay.
0 pay. You get a
But-
lot of thank yous.
I'm going to thank yous and the satisfaction of giving back to the community.
Absolutely.
But what about things like insurance coverage and,
The insurance is all on them.
uh-huh, okay,
Same with their medical. It's all on them.
yeah,
If you're driving a state vehicle, that's different. And we go over the procedures if you're in a crash of what to do with the state vehicle, who to notify,
right,
get everything cleared up that way.
sure, sure. And required hours to volunteer per week.
We ask for 48 hours,
Okay.
a quarter, mandatory,
A quarter,
a quarter.
oh, that's
So every
not
3
much.
months. No, it's not.
Uh-huh,
But we have people like myself and the others that are putting in 1,000 hours a year.
yeah,
So, yeah, they're very busy.
yeah, yeah,
We do a lot of events.
uh-huh,
We do parades.
Uh-huh.
We have a couple Christmas parades coming up, so we'll be involved with that.
right,
We have, of course, the Almond Festival, and we do that. 4th of July parades,
sure,
and we do almost every town in the county has a parade for one event or another.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we handle traffic control on some,
Sure.
and some not. We do a lot of events for other 501c3 nonprofit organizations,
uh-huh,
and help them with parking and their raffles and stuff of that nature.
sure,
We go out and patrol. When we take our radar trailer out,
right,
we do what's called a cheater's card, a yellow card, and so my people will be out on the road, they see an out-of-state plate, they write down make, model, and then we run it, make sure they're not, let's say here in the state of California, for the last year and never
Right.
got new plates.
Right.
Because all our officers are paid from the DMV,
yeah,
okay, and what that produces.
sure,
So, we have other events. We're going into our Christmas season. So Chips for Kids is a huge one for us. We work, my volunteers work 6 days a week for 6 weeks. And we ask the people of the community to participate and help us stuff the bus on the weekends.
Right.
Bring in toys,
Right.
monetary donations. And the Antelope Valley is amazing at what it gives.
good.
We've been #1 in the state for Chips for Kids.
Is that
for the last
right?
3 or 4 years.
How terrific,
So,
how terrific.
yeah, great people here in the Antelope Valley.
Yeah, I concur,
We're very proud to wear this uniform
yeah.
and to go out there and be part of our community.
Good. Now, speaking about the uniforms, what do they cost?
We take care of everything for them except for their pants, their shirt, and their belt.
Okay.
We ask that if we're going to put this time in to train them
Right.
and bring them along and teach them everything that we're doing,
Right.
that they have a little skin in the game.
Right.
So
Pants and a white shirt and,
the pants, white shirt, and the belt. And what we do is we take them down to a facility in LA. We have everybody fitted,
yeah,
okay, and as we did with every graduation class.
sure.
And then if they want a warm weather jacket or something like that, or a cold weather jacket,
Sure.
they can pick it up there because they're very reasonable.
Uh-huh.
So-
Sure, sure.
And that way it keeps the uniform down below $75
Sure.
for their participation.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your comments and enlightening explanation of what a volunteer for the CHP does.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah,